Hello everyone. So today we are going to see about store procedures. Before going to store procedure, let us see what are the subblocks. So a subblock is a named block of the code that is directly saved on the server, and it can be executed when and where it is required. So we have four types of subblocks in Oracle. First one is store procedures, next one store functions, third one packages, and fourth one is triggers. Now we'll see what is the stored procedures. So let me zoom it little bit here. So a stored procedure is a database object which contains pre-compiled queries. It contains what? Pre-compiled queries. So stored procedures are a block of code designed to perform a task where whenever we called and maybe or may not be return a value. So the procedure can return a value, or without a return value also we can write a procedure. So let us see why we need stored procedure. So whenever we want to execute a SQL query for an application, so the SQL query will be first parsed, that is compile. Whenever we are executing any SQL query, the first step is it will be compiled for the execution, where the process of parsing or compiling is the time consuming, because parsing occurs each and every time we execute the query or statement. Next, to overcome the above problem, we write a SQL statement or query under the stored procedure and execute. Because the store procedure is a pre-compiled block of code, without parsing, the statements gets executed whenever the procedure are called, which can increase the performance of the application. So why we need a store procedure? So if we didn't use the store procedure, what happen? Every time we execute the query, that will compile first, then execute. But what happen in the procedure? It will be pre-compiled. Every time it will not compile. So what happen? Our performance of the application will be increases. So stored procedure, we can say that stored procedure is a pre-compiled block of code. Without parsing, the statement gets executed. So this is the main purpose of using the stored procedure. So let us see what are the advantages of stored procedure. So as there is no unnecessary compilation of queries, there will be reduced burden on the database. So reduce burden on the database, that means application performance will be improved and user will get quick response. And last one is code reusability and security. We can reuse that procedure whenever we require. So let us see how can we create a procedure and what is the syntax for the procedure. So create or replace procedure, and here we need to give the procedure name. Then here we can pass the parameters, one argument and mode type. We will see what are the mode types, then data type of whatever argument we are passing. Then is, here we can do variable declaration, then execution block, start with begin. Here we can write the executable statements, and this is the exception block. In the exception block we can write executable statements and end of the procedure. So this is the syntax by using which we can create a procedure. So how can we execute the procedure? So there are two ways we can execute the procedure. First one is by using execute or exec, and we can give the procedure name. And second syntax by using we can execute the procedure is by using anonymous block. So begin, right, we have to write begin, and here we have to write procedure name and end of the anonymous block. So now we will see some examples on procedure without parameter, and in the next video we will see example on procedure. In this video we will see without parameter, but in the next video we will see procedure with parameter. So now let us see how can we create a procedure and execute that without parameter. So this is the example. First step is create or replace procedure, and here we can see this is a procedure name. This is a compulsory we have to write. So create or replace means if there is procedure already created, then that procedure will be replaced. So for that we are writing here replace. So create or replace procedure, and procedure name here we have to give. Then is, then here from begin we need to write our executable statements. So here I am writing printing welcome to the procedures and end of the procedure. Now how can we execute this? Let me copy this, and if we go to SQL developer, you can also use SQL plus command prompt. Here I am using SQL Oracle SQL developer. So if I paste here, and how to execute this, Control A and Control Enter, and here we can see it is coming our message procedure my underscore procedure is compiled. It is compiled successfully. So we created here a procedure. Now how can we execute this? So there are two ways we have seen. So let us see one by one. First way is we can use here, let me clear this. Yeah, now how can we execute? execute, and we can give here a procedure name. So copy this, and if I go here and paste here semicolon, and let me select this and press Ctrl Enter, and here we go, we are getting the message welcome to procedure. Here you can see this is printing welcome to procedure, PL SQL procedure successfully completed. So now let me clear this. So this is the first way. Also we can use here exec also. Copy this, select this, Control Enter, and here we go, welcome to procedure. Let me clear this. So this is the first way we can do. Now let us see another way. What is another way? Begin procedure name and end by using the anonymous block. So let me go here. Here we have to write what? Begin. Then here we need to write procedure name. What is procedure name? My process procedure. Now end of the anonymous block. Let me select this and Control Enter, and here we go, welcome to procedures and PL SQL procedure successfully completed. So these are the some again we will see one of the example. So here we will see next example, write a procedure to display sum of two numbers. So here what we are doing, first step is common, create or replace procedure, and here we are giving the procedure name is, then here we are declaring and assigning the value to the variable a number, its data type, and we are assigning value 10, 20. Now execution block started with begin, and here we are printing sum of two numbers as a plus b. So how can we execute this? Let's copy this, go to SQL Oracle SQL developer. Let me delete this, and if I paste here, clear this, and Control A and Control Enter to execute, and here we go, procedure add underscore procedure is compiled. We are getting the message. Now it's time to execute the query. Let me clear this. Now execute exec, execute add underscore process, copy this, and if I go here, paste here, and select this, Control Enter, and here we go, sum of the two numbers is 30. Here we can see procedure successfully completed. This is the first way we can execute this. Another way, by using anonymous block, begin procedure name, end of the anonymous block. Let me clear this, and if I select this and Control Enter, and here we go, sum of two numbers. So this is the way we can create a procedure So these are the example on the procedure without parameter. In the next video we will see procedure with parameters.